Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Ron, and thank you for stopping by. For those who follow my channel, you know I love riding my OneWheel Plus XR. I've had it for probably about two and a half years now. It's a great electric board, and I've got about 1,000 miles roughly on mine. So I thought it was time for me to do some upgrades, and I wanted to talk to you about the 5 upgrades that I've done to my board and that I would also recommend once you've got a few hundred miles under your belt as well. So stay tuned, and we'll jump right into this. Now, I'm going to caveat this with saying I wouldn't necessarily recommend these upgrades if you're a new rider. The reason I finally broke down and upgraded my board came to the fact that my original Vega stock tire finally wore out. So 1,000 miles will do that. Depending on how you ride, most of you are going to get probably 800 to 1,000 miles on your stock Vega tire. After you wear down that stock tire, I think you're going to be ready for some upgrades like I did. So let's talk about those upgrades. First, I upgraded the stock Vega 11.5 by 6.5 by 6 inch slick tire for a more maneuverable tire. The Burris SS33A 11 by 6 by 6 slick racing tire. The newer tire from Burris will run you about $60 to $70 US. The tire is a great all-around riding tire, whether you're riding trails or streets. I do both pretty evenly, just letting you know. The Burris is a rounder design than the stock Vega tire and gives you the ability to really carve your turns more easily without losing any stability. Now, I don't necessarily recommend this tire if you're a new rider. Again, I would get some mileage under your belt before switching or upgrading your tire. But after you've been riding the Vega stock tire for a while, you're gonna notice a huge difference with this Burris SS33A. Once I got a few minutes into my initial ride, I could really feel the difference. Now, if you've been riding your stock Vega tire for a while now, you're gonna really feel how the tire always wanted to kind of correct itself or upright itself as you're taking your turns or carving. But with this new tire, because it's has more rounded edges, it's really nice for carving, which is something I like to do when I ride. I'll mention this tire will fit your OneWheel Plus XR, your OneWheel Plus, and the original OneWheel, but does not fit a pint. Also, if you're gonna buy this tire, it's also recommended using a tire sealant when installing your tire to prevent flat. Something like the Armor-Dilloz tire sealant works really well. I would say the tire is the biggest upgrade I did and probably made the biggest difference in how the board feels. Now, the next upgrade I did was I added a Flight Shield Pro with a clear shield plate. This is a really nice upgrade as well, because not only does it keep all that dirt and dust from kicking up onto your board, but it can be installed or removed whenever you want with no tools needed. Simple tension keeps the shield in place while you're riding, not to mention that your shoes will stay a lot cleaner for a lot longer. No more dumping all that gravel off the back of your foot plate or out of your shoes. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I also installed Fangs Minis 2.0s on my board. If you're not familiar with Fangs Minis, they're offered by a company called Land & Surf, and I'm gonna leave some product links below if you're at all interested. I'll mention none of these products are sponsored, but if there's any sponsors out there that wanna sponsor me, feel free to reach out. These are just the items that I would recommend if you're wanting to do some upgrades. The Fangs Minis reduce the friction on the nose of the board with the ground, so when your OneWheel's front bumper meets the pavement, it hopefully won't cause the board to nosedive, a condition no one wants to experience at fast speeds, trust me. Now, another item I added was the MagHandle Pro. This item's offered in the OneWheel store and will run you about $70 US. The MagHandle Pro just gives you a better experience, so you can carry the board more like a suitcase. Now, the handle also is pretty stealthy. It disappears into the side of the tire, so you don't have anything protruding or hanging off the side of the board for anything to snag like some handles do. I really like the design of this handle. And finally, upgraded the padding on the back of the board with a Kush Hi concave rear footpad by Float Life. Now, if you're ever ridden your board for an extended period of time, you know that your feet can start to get fairly fatigued. This is a really nice upgrade as well, and I can really feel the difference in the board when riding. The footpad really helps you lock the back foot into a more comfortable riding style, and it's a much softer feel than the original stock footpad, just making your riding experience all that much better. Now, I usually feel some sort of foot fatigue after riding longer trails, but I didn't feel anything like that after I ended this ride. So again, another great upgrade. You may also notice I put some new grip tape on the front foot pad as well, tossed in a new angled valve stem on the tire for easier access, and installed a bumper and float plate. All this makes it feel like a brand new board. The rest of the video is just me riding the trails, and you'll notice in one section I almost bit it and went down an embankment because I didn't want to get my brand new board all dirty. It was my first ride out. I'm sure you guys understand that one. There was some mud patches throughout the trail. You'll see me, you'll see me trying to go around some of these. Needless to say, there's a very steep embankment on both sides of this trail, and if things go really wrong, my upgraded board could have ended up in the water. Now, if you own or are thinking of buying a OneWheel Plus XR, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And finally, I want to give a big shout out to Brian over One Stop Board Shop in Bridgewater, New Jersey, for all his hard work in upgrading my board. Check out his Instagram and website if you need some work. Great shop and guy to work with. Enjoy the rest of the video. If you've gotten any value out of this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. It's always appreciated. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for future video notifications. So until next time, stay safe, be well, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Hey, put the brakes on everything. Real quick, I have an update. I'm glad I didn't publish this video last night. So I'm riding the OneWheel earlier this morning down at the Jersey Shore. Got my son with me, and he's riding his penny board, as you'll see in this video. And let me just roll the video and you'll see what happens. So here we are, just having a good time down at the shore. Got my OneWheel. Son's riding his penny board. He's actually holding his own pretty well, better than I thought. So jumping ahead, take a turn here, heading up the beach. Just gonna take a quick picture of the ocean. Stop, get off the board. Just a nice little morning. This is about 7 o'clock, 7:30 this morning. Turn around to jump on the board, and right here, the wheel kind of dug in a little bit, so I went off the front of the board. And the shield cracked. Let me back that up a little bit. So you can see right here, I go to step on the board. The wheel had dug into the sand a little bit, so I'm about 210. So depending on your weight, this isn't probably the best tire for really soft sand like it is here in Sandy Hook, New Jersey. So as I go, let me go a couple frames forward. As I go to lean forward, the tire kind of digs in, doesn't go anywhere. So I go forward, and you'll see my back foot come across the flight shield right here. I just kind of kick it. Comes across the front of it, and right there, I don't know if you can see it, the shield cracked, broke right in two. So right here, I kicked it across the front, and let me just play it forward now. So these aren't going to be the best shields to use. I'm going to do a little research, and actually, if you guys have any insight into what might be a better flight shield or a different brand of shield, let me know in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. But this one's only my second ride out. Definitely not going to hold up to any hard riding. So I just want to emphasize that. It was only the board's riding great, and the shield's not a big deal. But clearly, if you're doing any aggressive riding, this shield is not something that you're going to want to put on your board. It does seem to break easily, and I was actually looking at their website, and the way that they word it was the flight shield provides added protection from the elements designed to withstand the majority of rolls, tumbles, and crashes. So it's not going to stand up to any aggressive kind of riding, and even that, like I said, I didn't hit anything, the board didn't roll. My back foot just came up across the back of it, and that was the end of that. So enjoy the rest of the video. This is just me and my son finishing out a ride this morning. Take care, guys.